Hi, I'm Connor.
And I'm Dana.
We're here at the Chautauqua Trailhead in Boulder, Colorado, and we're about to hike the Royal Arch Trail. Here at the Colorado Chautauqua in Boulder, there is access to a whole network of trails that originate right at the base of the Flatirons. So if you're looking for hiking in Boulder, this is a great place to start from.
So we're here on a Monday morning and this area is very popular. There is a good amount of parking at the trailhead, but it's all full up at this point and there's lots of cars parked along the street. So be prepared to encounter a lot of other people on your hike. So we started out our hike on the Chautauqua Trail, which is a nice wide, well-worn trail. It almost looks paved, it's so well-worn. But there's also a lot of people on it right now, and so we decided to take the ski jump trail to avoid some of the crowd. There's lots of different routes that you can take to get to the Royal Arch Trail, and so we're just taking one of those other options. So if you're like us and you live much closer to sea level, be aware that when you're hiking at elevation, like we are right now in Colorado, you're gonna get out of breath a lot more quickly. So give yourself time to catch your breath. Make sure to drink lots of water.
So one thing we recommend doing when you're heading out onto a new hike is to take a picture of the trail map. Usually they have one on like a kiosk or something like that at the start of the trail. So if you don't have an actual map, we certainly recommend taking a picture of the map.
There's a couple sections on the Royal Arch Trail and the Flatiron Loop Trail where there are rock steps. And we're hiking on a really sunny, dry day, and so our traction is good, but my foot slipped a little bit on one of the rocks, and so it just makes me think that if you're hiking up here when it's wet and rainy, that you really need to be careful on those sections of trail because the footing could be very slippery.
So not far from the trail intersections of the Flatirons Loop and the Royal Arch Trail, there is a little stream crossing here just a little ways up, and for us it was a good stop for Bee to get some water.
Once you reach this little creek crossing on the Royal Arch Trail, this is where the ascent starts to get really steep, and it climbs up basically some rock stairs for a half mile, so be prepared for a climb.
So the trails here at the Chautauqua sort of park entrance are mostly really easy, really nice to walk. They're wide, so we could walk side by side for a lot of it. Once we got up to the Royal Arch Trail, it is really steep and really hard. We've reached the Sentinel Pass and we're taking a break here.
After Sentinel Pass, the trail descends for about 1/4 mile, and then it kicks back up into a steep ascent towards the arch, which is maybe like 4/10 mile until you get to the arch. Yes!
Well, we made it to the Royal Arch. It's pretty spectacular. A couple things to keep in mind are there's a lot of people here and there's not a lot of space at the top. So if you are looking to spend some time up here, you'll have to sort of carve out a section for yourself. if you're planning on bringing your dog on this hike, you should be aware that there's a couple spots up closer to the actual Royal Arch that are quite difficult for people and for dogs. Now, be prepared to have to carry them if you have a smaller or older dog, or at the very least lift them up some of the steeper parts and lower them down some of the steeper parts. The Royal Arch Trail is a single track, and because of that, and because of the number of people on it and this extremely high level of traffic, it can be difficult to sort of move around. When you get up to the very top, there's sort of people everywhere, so you have to be courteous, and you have to wait, you have to let people pass, you have to go when they let you pass, etc. So there are a lot of interconnecting trails here on this Chautauqua open space park here in Boulder, but they're really well marked, so you can feel confident about being able to find your way around. But once again, we do recommend taking a picture of the map at the start. While the trails here are really beautiful and well maintained, if you are looking for a more peaceful, solitary, more meditative experience for your hiking adventure, you'll probably want to look someplace else, someplace more lightly trafficked.
So we've encountered a lot of people on our hike today, and it's been really encouraging. There are a lot of people that are visiting the area and are just out exploring and spending some time in nature, which has been really fun to see. And then also everybody's been so nice, you know, helping each other out in terms of finding directions and encouraging each other. So it's been a really positive experience in that way. So it seems like there's something for just about everybody here. Certainly not everybody can use every trail, but there are trails where you can mountain bike. There's certainly a lot of trails where you can hike and hike with your dog and even have your dog off leash. There's equestrian trails. There's just a lot of really cool opportunities to explore in this area. So definitely, if you're nearby, come out and take advantage of it.
If you're planning to do the Arch Trail, I recommend that you be in decent shape or ready to spend a long time on it, because it's really difficult. Well, we're back at the car, and while today our objective was to go to the Royal Arch, we did take some connecting trails as well. And so our total mileage is a little bit more than what you might find on all trails or some of the other places. And overall, we went about 4¼ miles. And our elevation gain,
Don't know.
we'll find out later. You'll have to read the blog post for that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. If you want to see more of our hikes and see more of our trail reviews, please subscribe, follow, or like us.
Thank you.
Thank you.